The used truck market is flooded right now. Supply is up, prices are softening, and dealers are getting creative with financing to move units that have been sitting on lots for 90, 120, sometimes 180 days. And buyers, especially first-time truck buyers, are walking into showrooms and seeing a clean interior, a tow rating sticker on the window, and a price that looks reasonable, and they're signing papers on vehicles that will cost them more in repairs over the next 3 years than the truck is worth today. Not every truck with a tough name and a big grille deserves your money. Some of them are genuinely, provably, statistically terrible ownership experiences dressed up in chrome and marketing budgets. The 5 trucks on this list are not opinions. They are patterns. Consistent, documented, owner-confirmed patterns of mechanical failure, financial loss, and dealership visits that never seem to end. These are 5 trucks I wouldn't take for free. And after you see the data, you'll understand exactly why. Number 5. 2019 to 2021 Ram 1500 Eco Diesel 3.0-liter V6 diesel. The pitch was perfect. A half-ton pickup with diesel efficiency, 480 pounds-feet of torque, and a 33,000-pound towing capacity marketing story that had truck buyers genuinely excited. Ram positioned the Eco Diesel as the sophisticated choice, the truck for the buyer who wanted capability and fuel economy without stepping up to a heavy-duty platform. The reality arrived shortly after the warranty period for early buyers, and it arrived with expensive authority. The 3.0-liter Eco Diesel, a VM Motori engine sourced from Italy and shared with certain Jeep Grand Cherokee configurations, developed a well-documented pattern of EGR cooler failures, oil cooler clogging, and in the worst cases, catastrophic coolant intrusion into the engine oil system. When coolant mixes with engine oil at scale, you are not looking at a repair. You are looking at an engine replacement on a truck that originally stickered. Between $48,000 and $58,000, a post-warranty engine replacement runs $12,000 to $18,000 at a franchise dealer. The emissions situation compounded the mechanical problems. Ram and FCA settled with the EPA and DOJ in 2019 for approximately $800 million related to emissions cheating allegations across their diesel lineup, including eco-diesel-equipped Ram 1000s and 5s from 2014 through 2016. While the 2019 to 2021 model years were not part of the original settlement, they received mandatory emission software updates that a significant portion of owners reported negatively affected real-world performance and fuel economy. The 2 primary reasons buyers chose the Eco Diesel over a gasoline alternative in the first place. Day supply on used Eco Diesel 1500s has been elevated for over 2 years. The market knows. Informed buyers are avoiding them, which means they sit, which means desperate sellers drop prices, which creates the illusion of a deal for the unprepared buyer. Private party and dealer listings for high-mileage Eco Diesel Ram 1500s price them attractively, specifically because moving them any other way has become difficult. Fuel economy and real-world ownership averaged 22 to 24 miles per gallon highway for functioning examples. Genuinely impressive for a half-ton truck. But when the repair bill arrives, those fuel savings are consumed within months and never recovered. The Ford F-150 PowerBoost Hybrid and even the standard 3.5-liter EcoBoost provide competitive real-world fuel costs without the diesel-specific failure modes that have defined Eco Diesel ownership for too many buyers. Surprising fact. Replacement Eco Diesel crate engines sourced through legitimate FCA channels have faced availability delays stretching 4 to 6 months in some regions, meaning owners with failed engines have waited half a year for a running truck while continuing to make payments. #4. 2015 to 2017 Ford F-150 2.7-liter EcoBoost, first-generation, high-mileage examples. Before the comments arrive. Yes, the 2.7-liter EcoBoost is a genuinely impressive engineering achievement, and the current generation is a strong engine. This entry is specifically about first-generation 2.7-liter examples from 2015 through 2017 with over 80,000 miles, and the specific failure pattern that has made high-mileage versions a used market gamble that consistently punishes buyers who don't know what to look for. The issue is carbon buildup on intake valves, an inherent characteristic of direct injection engines that lack port injection to wash the valves clean. In turbocharged direct injection applications like the 2.7 EcoBoost, carbon deposits accumulate on intake valve stems at a rate that eventually causes rough idle, misfires, reduced power, and in neglected examples, intake valve damage that requires walnut blasting or full head removal to address correctly. The service interval for walnut blasting on a 2.7 EcoBoost runs approximately $600 to $900 at independent shops and considerably more at Ford dealers. That cost alone isn't catastrophic. The problem is that a significant percentage of used 2.7 EcoBoost F-150s on the market today have never had this service performed because the original owners either didn't know it was necessary or deferred it. Buying a 2015 to 2017 example with 90,000 miles and no carbon cleaning history means absorbing that service cost immediately and potentially absorbing it alongside other deferred maintenance that compound on turbocharged engines. Additionally, early 2.7 EcoBoost examples saw a higher than expected rate of turbocharger failures between 80,000 and 120,000 miles, with replacement costs running $2,000 to $4,000 per turbocharger. And the 2.7 has two of them. Timing chain tensioner wear was also flagged in early production engines, a repair that on an aluminum block twin-turbo V6 requires significant labor hours. The aluminum body that Ford introduced on the 2015 F-150 added an additional layer of ownership complexity. Aluminum doesn't rust, a genuine advantage, but it repairs differently than steel. Collision repair costs on aluminum-bodied F-100s and 50s consistently run 25 to 40% higher than equivalent steel-bodied truck repairs, and not every body shop is equipped to work with it correctly. Improper aluminum repair can create structural integrity issues that don't reveal themselves until the next impact. The current 2.7 EcoBoost, as refined through 2018 and subsequent model years, addressed many of these concerns and is a substantially more reliable unit. But the 2015 to 2017 vintage at high mileage represents a specific used market risk that its attractive pricing doesn't adequately compensate for. Number 3, 2020 to 2022 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 with 2.7-liter turbo 4-cylinder. General Motors put a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine in a full-size pickup truck and called it a feature. The 2.7-liter turbocharged inline-4 in the Silverado 1500 produces 310 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque, numbers that look competitive on a spec sheet. And in light-duty, low-stress driving conditions, it performs adequately. But this engine in this application has produced one of the most consistent owner complaint patterns of any powertrain in the current full-size truck segment. The core problem is thermal management under load. Silverado 2.7T owners who use their trucks for actual truck activities, towing trailers regularly, hauling payload in hot climates, extended grades while loaded, have documented significant oil consumption issues, with some owners reporting consumption rates of 1 quart per 2,000 to 3,000 miles. GM issued a technical service bulletin acknowledging elevated oil consumption in the 2.7T and provided guidance for dealers, but did not initiate a formal recall, leaving many out-of-warranty owners absorbing costs independently. Active fuel management, GM's cylinder deactivation system, which the 2.7T uses in a modified form, has its own complaint thread. History across GM truck forums. Lifter failures associated with AFM systems have plagued GM's V8 truck engines for years, and while the 2.7T uses a different architecture, the broader pattern of GM's fuel management system reliability has not inspired confidence among buyers who followed the brand closely. Towing capacity is rated at 7,200 pounds, lower than the V8 Silverado's 13,000 pound maximum and lower than the EcoBoost F-150's capability in comparable configurations. For buyers who are towing anything meaningful with any regularity, this engine is genuinely undersized for the platform it powers. The fuel economy advantage, approximately 20 miles per gallon city and 23 miles per gallon highway, evaporates almost entirely when towing, delivering real-world figures in the 10 to 13 miles per gallon range under load that make the efficiency argument collapse. Resale value on 2.7T Silverados has been softer than V8 equivalents, reflecting market awareness of the powertrain's limitations. Dealers are actively Trading buyers out of 2.7 terabyte examples into V8 or diesel versions when customers present for service with powertrain complaints, which tells you everything you need to know about internal confidence in the engine. Do you think GM should have ever put a four-cylinder in a full-size truck? Drop your answer in the comments. Number 2. 2016 to 2019 Nissan Titan XD with Cummins 5.0-litre V8 diesel. The Titan XD was Nissan's attempt to carve out a segment between half-ton and heavy-duty trucks, a concept that sounded strategically clever and executed with a Cummins 5.0-litre V8 diesel that produced 310 horsepower and a legitimate 555 pound-feet of torque. On paper, the XD offered heavy-duty towing capability up to 12,314 pounds, in a package sized closer to a traditional half-ton. In practice, the Titan XD became one of the most comprehensively troubled truck launches in recent memory, and the diesel version specifically has become a used market cautionary tale that informed buyers consistently avoid. The 5.0-litre Cummins V8, produced exclusively for Nissan and not related to the inline-six Cummins units that have powered Ram heavy-duty trucks for decades, developed a pattern of high-pressure fuel pump failures, injector problems, and EGR system issues that plagued the 2016 and 2017 model years particularly aggressively. Nissan extended the powertrain warranty on affected vehicles and eventually discontinued the diesel option entirely after the 2019 model year, an almost unambiguous signal about the powertrain's long-term viability. When Nissan discontinued the Cummins 5.8, it also effectively orphaned every diesel Titan XD on the road. Parts availability for a low-volume diesel engine that is no longer in production is a compounding problem that worsens with every passing year. Independent diesel specialists are frequently unable to source components through normal channels, driving repair costs above what the trucks are worth in many cases. Resale value collapsed. When the diesel option was discontinued, a 2016 Titan XD diesel that stickered at $55,000 to $60,000 new is currently trading in the $18,000 to $24,000 range depending on condition and mileage, a depreciation rate that would make most luxury car owners wince. That low price attracts bargain hunters who then discover why the price is that low, approximately 15,000 miles into ownership. The gasoline Titan has its own separate reliability and resale struggles, but the diesel XD represents a uniquely concentrated version of the financial risk that makes the entire model line difficult to recommend in used form. Unusual fact, Nissan sold approximately 14,000 Titan XD diesels across the entire production run. For context, Ford sells more F-150 ES in a single week. The extraordinarily low production volume is precisely why parts availability has become the ownership nightmare it is today. Number 1. 2018 to 2021 Ford F-150 with 3.5-litre EcoBoost and 10-speed transmission, specific build. Combinations. This is the most controversial entry on this list because the 3.5-litre EcoBoost is widely regarded as one of the best truck engines in the segment, and in many configurations it absolutely is. The issue is not the engine in isolation. The issue is a specific combination, the 3.5-litre EcoBoost paired with the 10-speed automatic transmission in 2018 to 2021 production years, and the transmission behavior that generated one of the largest and most sustained owner complaint campaigns in modern Ford truck history. The 10-speed transmission, co-developed with General Motors, was introduced on the F-150 for the 2018 model year. Owner complaints about harsh downshifts, clunking during low-speed gear changes, shuddering during light throttle application, and what many described as the transmission hunting between gears began appearing in volume within months of the launch. Ford's owner forums, NHTSA, complaint databases, and class action litigation filings painted a consistent picture of a transmission that behaved unpredictably enough to make daily driving genuinely unpleasant for a meaningful percentage of owners. Ford issued multiple technical service bulletins attempting to address transmission behavior through software calibration updates. Many owners reported that the updates provided temporary improvement, followed by regression to previous behavior. A class action lawsuit was filed against Ford, specifically related to 10-speed transmission defects in F-150Es. And while Ford has disputed the characterization of the issue, the volume and consistency of complaints across independent owner communities is not easily dismissed. The financial exposure is significant. A 10-speed transmission replacement on an F-150 runs $4,500 to $7,000 at a Ford dealer for out-of-warranty vehicles. Owners who purchased extended warranties specifically because of known transmission concerns have reported battles with warranty administrators over coverage. Classification of the symptoms. Because Ford's TSB history creates a documentation trail that can be used to argue the issue is a known characteristic rather than a warrantable failure. Current used market pricing on 2018 to 2021 F-150s with the 10-speed has not dropped dramatically because overall F-150 demand remains strong and many buyers are purchasing without researching the specific transmission history. This means buyers are frequently paying near-market prices for trucks carrying a documented mechanical risk that hasn't been adequately priced in. The correct used F-150 purchase in this generation is a pre-2018 example with the 6-speed transmission, or a 2022 and newer build that benefited from additional transmission refinement updates. The 2018 to 2021 10-speed window represents a specific production period where the engineering ambition outpaced the execution, and owners paid the price for that gap. Every truck on this list was sold to real buyers who trusted the brand, the dealer, and the marketing. Some of them are still making payments on vehicles that have been at the dealership more than in their driveways. The pattern across all 5 is identical. An ambitious powertrain or technology choice that wasn't ready for the real-world demands of truck ownership, followed by a used market that prices the vehicles attractively enough to trap the next buyer in the same cycle. The best protection is straightforward. Research TSB history before any used truck purchase. Pull NHTSA complaint databases. Read owner forums from the specific model year and engine combination you're considering, not general reviews, but actual owner experience threads from 60,000 miles and beyond. And never let a low price be the primary reason you buy a truck. A truck that costs you $28,000 at purchase and $18,000 in repairs is a $46,000 truck. Price it accordingly before you sign. If this list saved you from a mistake, hit like and share it with someone who's currently shopping for a used truck. Subscribe for more buying guides built on data, not dealer talking points. And tell us in the comments, have you owned any of these trucks? We want to hear what actually happened.